So, my review of the new Ryzen 3000 CPUs isn't coming out until probably this weekend because it's all chaos here in the UK. Not only are the prices extremely high because of VAT, but also the 7.7 was basically a paper launch, which I'll get to in a second, but yeah, it's essentially pretty chaotic. So I decided to, essentially using some graphs and benchmarks I've seen online, draw some early conclusions, but I'll mainly be saving all of it for my final review. So subscribe to the channel to know when that comes out. So let's start with the main thing that annoyed me, and that's the fact that 7.7 was a paper launch. And what that basically means is that it's a launch on paper, and only on the 7.7 do AMD actually start rolling out the CPUs to retailers. So before the CPUs reach the retailers, and before then those chips go from the retailers to your house, it takes forever. And that's why I'm only upgrading tomorrow, so Friday, and then the review should be out on the weekend. So that's one of the first things that's annoyed me. And you couldn't pre-order it, so that's another really annoying thing. I have no idea why they haven't done pre-orders, especially now that I had made in my predictions video talking about, the Ryzen 3000 launch is gonna be so great for, you know, just showing it to the people who like saying never pre-order anything, and now it's turning out that you can't even pre-order them, or like essentially ordering them on 7.7 was pre-ordering, because it was so really chaotic, unfortunately. And that was like a big letdown of the whole thing, because so far the whole thing has been amazing. Like the marketing campaign for it has been all top notch, or like the presentations at CES and E3 and Computex, so that was all amazing. So that was definitely a big letdown. Other than that, however, from early benchmarks, we can tell that it is a beast. Now, again, something I'll get to in my final review, but essentially what's happening is that AMD is essentially taking a bigger leap in the areas they're already stronger in, essentially destroying any of Intel's value proposition. And in the meantime, these brand new CPUs now essentially have the best price to performance ratio we have seen in ages. So that's really good. But when you talk about it critically, things haven't really changed too much in regard to which CPU is best for which type of platform, which type of like PC, whether you know a gamer, whether you make content, whether it's like a heavy duty workstation, whether you're streaming. Those things haven't really changed since like last gen. So and that's something I'll be talking about in my full review, like talking about, you know, how things haven't really changed despite how much people like hyped up the brand new Ryzen 3000s. So also stay tuned for that. Gaming performance has been a really big thing, you know, and in things like CSGO, which typically favored Intel, AMD has finally caught up, which is really good. But with many other games, AMD is still behind, but it seems that it's mainly to do with optimization for this brand new platform, and when games and new drivers are being released, then things are going to improve. So hopefully by the time I get mine and start benchmarking for the video, things will improve, so I can really show off the power of this brand new CPU. Speaking of my review, I also, since I know I don't really have any i9 1900K to compare it to, I will be using many online benchmarks to compare it to, you know, 9900Ks, 9700Ks, stuff like that. But, you know, since all I have is an FX 8350 with a GTX 1080 Ti, I'm gonna focus on, well, not focus on, but, you know, things I can add in myself to the video, and that's focused on 4K gaming, and also for if it's worth upgrading for people like me who have extremely old CPUs. Is it worth, you know, getting a new motherboard, new RAM, new CPU? So is that giant leap worth it for us yet? You know, has the Ryzen, you know, are the Ryzen 3000 CPUs enough of a step up from the 8 core Vishera CPUs for it to be worth it? So right now my thoughts are, it's amazing, it's a bit disappointing, which again I will get to in my final review, so stay tuned for that. But overall, I'm just glad people are being hyped up for hardware again. Like, people have been like lining up in front of hardware stores just to get their hand on these, so I'm really happy to see that those kind of days are coming back. And the performance itself, essentially, it hasn't destroyed fully, the Intel lineup yet, but I think the 3950 will be the final nail in the coffin. We'll see. I would like to thank my patrons Dante, James Falzone, and Kryken for supporting the channel. If you want me shouted out at the end of my videos, then I highly recommend checking out my Patreon. It really does help the channel so much, especially that the Ryzen 3000 review is probably going to be my most expensive video ever, because, you know, it's a new CPU, new motherboard, new RAM, new power supply, and so I hope it's going to be really worth it. So if you want to help me to make, you know, better videos and help me make videos on more interesting topics that may cost me, because, you know, it's tech costs, so I highly recommend checking out my Patreon below. Even $1 a month goes a long way. Also, if you haven't joined already, I highly recommend joining my Discord. It's down in the description below as well. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to subscribe, like, whatever, and I'll see you all in what I make next. Goodbye everyone, goodbye.